Primal Chaos. Hey guys, Primal Chaos here, welcome to the channel. Now, I've done a couple of other Angelina Jordan reactions, so you might want to go check them out as well, but basically I started with Norway's Got Talent, her America's Got Talent audition, and also that performance of her in the studio as a 7-year-old, I believe. And look, you know, she's absolutely magical, but I kind of promised myself I wouldn't jump too far into the future till I'd sort of established a sensation of what it was like to sort of discover her back in the day and work my way through. The problem is, it's not every day an artist, like particularly somebody who releases as few sort of pieces of material as Angelina does, drops something right in your lap. And this came out yesterday. Unfortunately, a viewer, well, actually, fortunately, a viewer who's been following my journey through Angelina Jordan's material emailed me and said, hey, if you don't know, she's dropping something like right now. Unfortunately, I missed that email. His name is Master Jedi, by the way. So props to you, Master Jedi. And unfortunately, by the time I got to the email, I'd already done a bunch of material yesterday and it was like almost bedtime. So I thought I'd have to wait till today. So I may be a little bit late to the party on this one, but it's probably about as early as I get. So I'm excited for this one. I'm a little bit apprehensive because I don't want to spoil her journey, but at the same time, I really want to see what she's up to these days, kind of peek behind the curtain a little bit. I'm really interested to hear how, I mean, I suspect that Angelina probably had a large part in arranging this arrangement. It's a big deal at the moment because the movie Elvis is coming out as well, so there's a lot of heat on that right now. But more than anything, I just want to hear how her natural ability has evolved over time. And you know what? We're about to find out. Angelina Jordan, Suspicious Minds, Elvis Presley cover. Here we go. Hot off the press. It's interesting. There's a noise gate on her footsteps. Just before we get into it, that's just a little odd choice there. But as she's walking, they've applied a noise gate to her footsteps so that when she walks, you can hear the background noise, that hiss going tst, 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 and it's sort of opening and closing every time. I've got one on my mic right now to prevent background noise and stuff like that, but it's just odd. Anyway, let's start again. Here we go. They picked a beautiful location. Nice. Oh, beautiful piano arrangement. She's so big.
Oh, little love, survive. I dry the tears from your eyes.
Oh, wow.
Just don't let a good thing die. Well, honey, you know I've never lied to you. We're caught in a trap.
Oh, there it is.
I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me? When you don't believe a word I say, we can go on together with suspicious minds, and we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. If an old friend I know stops by to say hello, Would I still see suspicion in your eyes? Here we go again, asking where I've been. You can see the tears are real, I'm crying. Oh yeah, we can go on together with suspicious minds, and we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. Oh, little love survive. I'd dry the tears from your eyes. It's don't let a good thing die. When, honey, you know I've never lied to you. Oh, yeah.
Wow. All right. I'm just gonna jump to a quick break, and then when I come back, I got a lot to talk about. I just didn't want to stop and start throughout that performance. I just wanted to feel it all. I'm sure you all appreciate that as well. So give me a minute, and I'll be back with some final thoughts. Hey guys, today's video is brought to you in part by Skillshare. Now, anyone who knows me will tell you that I have way too many interests and hobbies. I'm also what's known as an autodidact, which means I'm largely self-taught, but my interests vary wildly amongst an entire gamut of disciplines. Disciplines ranging from things like music production, composition, video production, YouTube content creation, 3D printing, 3D modeling, electronics, woodworking, drawing, painting, graphic design, computers and code. The list just goes on and on. And in order to become proficient in all of these disciplines, it's taken me a lifetime of skills gathered piecemeal here, there, and everywhere. By and large, it just takes so long to develop a skill level in any of those individual things. But it ain't the old days anymore. And today we've got services like Skillshare, a service that provides you with near limitless amounts of information for one small subscription fee. Seriously, all of their curated learning modules and lessons and classes, they're all available at your fingertips. What if you're a graphic designer and then one day you just need to learn something very specific in the world of spreadsheets? Your Skillshare account has you covered. And the courses are all curated, meaning that there's a standard level of competency required for anyone to be teaching a course. And the best part about all this is Skillshare offers free trials. So all you need to do is click the link in the description. It'll take you to their site and you can start learning right now. Or, wait till after my video. But either way, look, Skillshare. That was absolutely stunning. The first thing I wanted to talk about was just, she's always been an artist who's performing well above her age, right? As far as her level of maturity and stuff like that. Particularly just in her voice and stuff like that. More so than her performance. Like when you look at her really young, she genuinely appears to be a small child on stage who's just completely unfettered and what's the word I'm looking for? Unencumbered by the pressures of performing and stuff like that. She just will open her mouth and the magic just comes out. To a degree, that's still the case. Like there's a certain level of showmanship going on here, but she knows why we're all here, and we're here for the voice and the song, right? We're here for her listening to that song as interpreted through the prism that is Angelina Jordan. And the maturity in what she's doing here, again, it speaks volumes for where she is like as an artist and where she is emotionally. And I suspected when I saw her younger that her being so amazing at such a young age would translate into, hopefully, when she's roughly this age, having a dead set advantage over everybody else who's a great singer at this age, because she's already developed an artist's maturity that belies the age that she's currently at, right? And where that's most evident to me is her conservation of things like licks and, licks being like those little pentatonic style runs, where is she? She's in the little licks and runs and stuff in between certain things. She's really good at staying her hand when it comes to that stuff and just singing the notes, and that's not a small thing. Most, particularly young people who feel like they've got so much to prove, over-sing just about everything. There comes a time when if I'm watching something like America's Got Talent or The Voice, and you just get this string of young vocalists come through, and it's almost like they're all trying to out-sing each other, which I guess they are in a way because it is a competition, but they're out-singing each other not by having an intense moment with the audience. They're out-singing each other by technicality. And so often you'll hear like all of these over-the-top vocalizations rather than just something that connects with the soul. And so often I'll just turn it off halfway through and go, I'm just sick of hearing it's basically like guitar shredding. There's a place for it. But I feel like for everyone who can sing with the technical proficiency of, say, an Ariana Grande or, a Mariah or a Whitney or somebody like that, it's kind of gotten to the point now where that's like a dime a dozen. There's a lot of people who can sing like that. But then you say to them, explain to me what the song's about. And they'll be like, I didn't know that was on the exam. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like Angelina, even as a young child, maybe I'm projecting or whatever, but it seemed like she knew what the song was about. They even ask her in Gloomy Sunday, they're like, do you know what the song's about? And she goes, it's about a sad Sunday. And I'm like, I guess in a way it is. But I think more than her having like a strict construct in her mind about what that means or what it meant to the person writing the song, I think to a child, she probably understands through the way that the song sounds and the way that she's singing it. She's capable of understanding the feelings of gloominess and sadness because kids are very emotional, And I think as like more of an adult level performer now, she still has that in her soul of just understanding what's required to deliver the emotional component of the song rather than just oversing the hell out of it, right? The other thing that struck me the second she opened her mouth was just the richness of her tone. I mean, those first opening notes, let's jump back. When I first heard the voice come out of her, I mean, I'm used to hearing her sing, but just that rich caramel, like mid-rangey tone, it's just stunning. Also, props to the piano player, and the arrangement of the piano is really pretty as well. I love how it drops in the low octave here and just sort of, it feels almost like an orchestra coming in. It's really nice. Right there, just becomes just that extra layer of complexity and octave. But just right here where she starts singing.
Oh, little love survive.
She sounds like a 50-year-old cabaret singer who's been through a lifetime of being a cabaret singer. It's stunning, just like, wow.
Love survive.
But you see how
I dry the tears from your eyes.
Any affectation she's putting on there, like when she pulled back into the breathiness there and sort of bottoms out and things like that on that breathiness, it's 100% deliberate, but it's also, I think, just the nature of her feeling the experience of singing rather than her going, okay, right now I think it'd be cool if I just sort of like went a bit breathy. I think she's just, the song's flowing through her and she's manipulating it as it's coming out in a way that serves the emotional component of the melody, if that makes any sense. And not only that, her pitch and her acuity are just absolutely stunning as well. I think when you get to the level that she's at of being able to precisely sing, you can stop worrying about singing in key and start worrying about the flavor of the melody and what you're going to do with it in that regard. And that's wonderful to see as well. What else did I notice? Oh, the other thing I want to talk about too is just visually. She's wearing an Elvis Presley outfit, I see she's still barefoot. I guess that's why they call her the barefoot angel or whatever. And I also love the choice of guitar too, which it sounds like whatever the guitar was on the track. And And I love how humble her guitar playing was too, because I assume she probably played it in the song as well.
Together with suspicious minds.
Hear that? There's such a less is more attitude. She's just one strum per bar.
On suspicious minds.
But it's played with such a soft touch, and I think that part of that could be a lack of confidence. And maybe it is. I don't know how long she's been playing guitar. Possibly not all that long. She's not very old. But the interesting thing about that too is it serves the song. If she did any more or less, I don't think it would work. Like, you know, she could have very easily. What's it like? What would it be? Yeah. So just one per bar. Like, it would be like a guitar player would pick it up and they'd be all like, oh, maybe I should start doing like a. Try to maybe add some swing to it or some flavor. In order. There we go. You know, like, there's so many little. You know, like all of that sort of stuff. And I'm so glad that she didn't do any of that. Because it's just like, you can hear how timid her strums are. It's like she's desperately trying not to step on the piano, you know? It's just really subtle. And like... And there's nothing... You know, nothing like that, no embellishments. And that's what I'm talking about. That's that maturity and the character of her as a performer.
An old friend I know stops by to say hello. Would I still see suspicion in your eyes?
Even just the bouffant. You know, if Elvis was a girl, that's what he would have looked like. You know? Oh, that's cool.
Here
I didn't see that
go
before.
again, asking where I've been.
You know what it is? It's the patience, right? She has the patience to let the song time out. Particularly if you're maybe not a highly experienced performer, you have a tendency to rush through things and be like, oh, I got to get it done. I got to get through this. Everybody's counting on me, you know. Whereas, like, there's, particularly with a slow song like this, like the tempo is just so sort of, it's slower than a walking pace. And so you kind of want to get to that next note and you're not quite sure where it's going to land because your body clock doesn't work so well at that slow tempos. It takes a lot of practice and discipline to be able to just feel it in your heart and just move through the melody in time and just land on that next note. Like, I'm hyper-analyzing everything, but it's no small feat. Like, honestly, like, if you listen to how...
You can see the tears are real, I'm crying.
It never sounds like she's dragging the beat. It's always like she's in time, and she's just flowing really carefully between 2 points. Boom. Like, think about how much you could pack into that if you wanted to.
And we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. Oh, little lost survive. I'd dry the tears from your eyes.
Oh.
It's so.
There was a little bit of Celine in there for a second. That.
I'd dry the tears from your eyes.
Hear it?
Don't let a good thing die. When, honey, you know I've never lied to you. Oh, yeah.
See? Just magical. Absolutely perfect. So yeah, in summary, I'm really glad that I jumped ahead and checked this out because now I guess I got something to work towards. I can hear how she's, each step of the way she's evolving towards where she is currently. I guess that's not such a bad thing. Anyway, that's about all I got time for. If you feel like I've brightened your day at all, feel free just to support the channel by buying me a coffee. There's a link in the description. Or, you can hit the thanks button under the video. That's a new feature that YouTube has where you can support creators directly within YouTube if you prefer to do that as well. That's super helpful. It helps me invest in things like I'm looking at merch. I'm looking at doing things, maybe, doing things a little bit more impressively from now on. But any support helps, guys. I really appreciate it. I wanted to end up doing this full time. At the moment, I'm kind of straddling a bunch of different things. So also like, share, subscribe. That's actually the absolute best thing you can do. Most of my viewers aren't subscribed, so I'd have to ask why. Now's the time. Hit the bell. And look, this was fantastic. This was a great experience. She did pull a tear out of me for a second there, as she's known to do. And I hope it did for you guys too. So appreciate you guys. Love you. Stay primal, and I'll catch you on the next one.